but yeah, I mean, she was really like the first like Disney child megastar. I think she sort of like set that whole thing in motion for like other child megastars, like, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Miley Cyrus. Annette really pioneered that Disney child star, right?
She really did. And honestly, as much of a Disney fan as I am, going back looking at the old Mickey Mouse shows, like I can remember, some of the others, but like always to me, Annette stood out. Like she was always the one that I could remember from the older days of the Mickey Mouse Club. And she was just one of those, her voice, it was so distinct. And she's one of those people that when you hear her voice, even though that was like back in the day, that I can identify to say that is Annette Funicello.
Right. Exactly. She had that star power, that draw where she was so iconic where like, yeah, you recognized her voice, her style, her look, which is also iconic. Now, she eventually moved on, from the Mickey Mouse Club. And then Walt Disney had her in like feature films. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorites actually is The Shaggy Dog. Have you seen The Shaggy Dog?
Yes.
Great movie.
Awesome movie. It's a classic. I love it. And I think it's just one of those things where Walt saw something in her that he said that, to go beyond just the Mickey Mouse Club, beyond just that she can act. She has a real talent that she could bring to his live action films. And kind of going back a little bit, while she was actually starting the Mickey Mouse Club, that's also what introduced Walt to the Sherman Brothers, because essentially that was the first job that they ever had for the company, was to write a song for Annette, which was Tall Paul.
Interesting.
So essentially that's how they got introduced to Walt. They got introduced to the company, and it, just rolled into, her singing Tall Paul, Pineapple Princess. Like it transitioned into that genesis of, at the time Annette was starting her career, it was also starting the career for the Sherman Brothers at the Walt Disney Company.
Incredible. An incredible era. Wow. Absolutely incredible. I've done a few of like the Walt Disney Studio tours in Burbank, and they recently, upon her passing in 2013, they renamed or dedicated Stage 1 to Annette. So you see her name on there and everything. I thought that was really cool too,
It is. And I think it's a part of the history where to have your name imprinted on that studio is just an accomplishment, whether you know it or not. It's just to know that now us as fans, that if we ever visit the studio, that we can look at that soundstage and say, that's where Annette performed. That's where she was. And it's like that resignation to say, wow, I'm looking at this piece of history.
Absolutely. I really hope that eventually one day Annette gets a window on Main Street, because she was more tied, technically to like the TV side, the entertainment side of the Walt Disney Company. But I think the Mickey Mouse Club really played a big role, when it came out in 1955, really played a big role in that whole promotion of Disneyland and everything. And I think it'd be great for Annette to get a little window, a little nod on Main Street eventually.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that with the original Mickey Mouse Club, or even how they did with the Mickey Mouse Club in the 90s, they involved the kids so much into the park, where they would have like TV specials and holiday promotions where the kids would perform actually in the park. So I think, as you said, it has a lot of that tie-in that Annette is connected to the parks without her being a heavy presence in the park. But I still think, as you said, I do think that she should have a dedicated window on Main Street.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be fantastic. And you're right. You saw, the Mickey Mouse Club kids at Disneyland a lot, promoting Disneyland, and even into like the 60s. There, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, comment below if I am, but I think it was the Disneyland After Dark special with Walt Disney, where an older Annette, she's I think it was like the early 60s, performed like a song, and she had the big band behind her, and she was dancing, and she was a little older than she was in the Mickey Mouse Club. I believe it was the early 60s, but it was great. It was so incredible. And she had a huge role in that park in those early years.
Yeah, she really did. And it's like one of those things that, she was always known for, that groovy type of, dancing, beach party, on the scene sort of thing. And that's what she became. She became this little girl with mouse ears to, the on the scene beach party type of girl with Frankie Avalon. And the two of them together in Beach Blanket Bingo was phenomenal. That it's just because I'm an old soul. I just love that style. I love like the 50s and the 60s where, the women have the big hairdo and the guys.
Big hair like me?
Yeah, there you go.